It was all good just a week ago. HaHa Davis was arrested just a few days ago for alleged domestic violence. He's actually from Detroit. He was arrested in Utica. Take a look.
Social media comedian HaHa Davis is behind bars for no laughing matter here. He is accused of domestic violence. The Detroit native, whose real name is Carlos Davis, was arrested by Utica police on Friday. Investigators haven't released any additional information on the victims. We don't know much about the circumstances. Davis is being held at the Macomb County Jail on a $5,000 cash surety bond.
So they haven't released a whole bunch of details yet, but what we do know is that his bond was $5,000. And it looks like to be a surety bond, so that means he can get a bail bondsman, pay 10% and get on. So generally, we look at the bond to try to speculate the egregious nature of the crime that was allegedly committed. So it seems like a low bond, but domestic violence is domestic violence. There's generally no place for it. So I was looking at a couple different things, right? His girlfriend's name, from what I can gather based on the girl's skits that he be doing a lot with, is Ridiculously Bomb. So initially, look, when this first happened, they weren't following each other. But just 2 days later, they back following each other. And this be the thing, right? And it's so hard to help people in these type of situations because love is blind. You know, you get mad, you get upset, you call the police, things happen, they escalate. Someone gets remanded 90% of the time if you call the police in a domestic violence incident because they have to remove someone. And then you later retract or regret the actions that were taken by either party. You try to forgive for whatever the reasons you deem justifiable. And now you come back to this, but you've already exposed what's happening inside your houses to everyone. Now, if he did indeed put his hands on her, hit her, whatever the case is, then if she chooses to prosecute him, so be it. I think another thing that people have to often realize is when you call the police, let's say it was something frivolous because we don't know, right? She got upset. She called the police. He was yelling and fussing. Let's say he didn't touch her, right? Because it's alleged. They haven't told us exactly what happened. The state can take up a case. I don't think a lot of people understand that. So whatever her name is, Ridiculously Bomb, right? Let's say they follow each other now. They cool again. She put out a bunch of tweets in the meantime while he was locked up. But now let's say they cool again. It wasn't that egregious in her estimation, right? And she wants to retract. Oftentimes in these type of situations, victim is seen as in a place to where they may not be in the right mindset to make that decision because love is so blinding, right? Because there's so many emotions involved. And therefore the state will want to prosecute the person for those very reasons. Like I mentioned, this is why he was locked up. So this is her Instagram page here. And she posts, "Your best relationship is going to be with me, you stupid bitch." Now, the thing that catches my eye here is your best relationship is going to be with me. And so that's present tense, saying that there's no separation amongst them seemingly, and that the rest of the relationship is still ongoing. It's just that maybe something happened, a mistake was made, but it's speaking presently. There's no past tense. So I'm trying to understand what exactly happened when you couple that with the low bond and not many details released. In the same time frame, she says, "I'm such a husband material, but the only problem is I'm a girl." Again, subliminal shots, talking her shit, but it's not resonating or coming across as though something physical happened. And again, this is just speculation, but these seem pretty soft in what's being said. You know, again, victims oftentimes don't know they're victims in these type of situations because the mental is so impactful when it comes to love and disposition and dealing with someone for so long in a tumultuous relationship, right? Oftentimes we can't see the forest through the trees. So I want to make sure that I say that and give that credence while we speculate about the bond and these cryptic Instagram messages. So we assume HaHa Davis still has money. So he bonds out same day, a couple days later, right? The reason why I'm speculating, why is it that deep? What actually happened? Is it that serious? Did she just call the police and they had to take someone? Because generally that's the rule in a lot of places. And then they released this video here.
If I don't want to sit with you, I'm gonna go sit over there.
Go ahead. Why not?
First time traveling with this man. This is the first time he traveling by himself though too.
I just took my uniform off. First of all, I work there. You can't keep reporting people that work at the job. Okay? If you had, don't put it on our system. My cleaning crew, they don't play like that. Let me get 2 napkins.
See, this be the stuff you be talking about. So the boy already done went to jail, right? So obviously called the police. And when we speculating about the egregious nature is because look at this post, right? That video looked to be an old video of them traveling together, obviously traveling in state, hence the domestic part. But ridiculously bomb on this post. Only thing we do domestic is flights at HaHa Davis. Now, mind you, they unfollowed and refollowed each other just a couple of days later, seemingly once he came home, so to speak. But this ain't no laughing matter, right? He got Jake called on him. Only thing we do domestic is flights. But what we do know is he was arrested for a domestic, right? Even though it was a low bond. That's on his jacket. That's on his person now. That's on his persona. And then people speculate and they make the worst of it. We just trying to look at it as objectively as possible. We obviously have to assume some things, right? But hopefully we're using the information that's available to us to come to the fair assumptions. But then you got shit like this. See? No real information, hands and feet. Why our celebrities can't do X, Y, and Z, right? It's assumed that he did the absolute worst. When you look at the domestic, right? You understand that there's so many things that involve a domestic coming to fruition. It doesn't have to be 100% physical, but we don't know anything but was put out. And so she can tweet these cryptic, soft tweets compared to what he was arrested for. And now we can release an old video to say, oh, only thing we do domestic is flights. But now he got an actual charge on his jacket.
It's not going, you know what I'm saying? It ain't going, nah, it ain't going to work.
And people, right, they're able to do whatever they want with the information that's open to the public, even joke about it.
Thought about it, and HaHa Davis catching a DV charge is hilarious because you're a comedian. Like, what did she say when you got so mad that you attacked her? So that means your girlfriend is funnier than you.
When you got the spotlight, people gonna be in your business, bro. And they will joke about the most egregious situations. He literally opened up with HaHa Davis catching a domestic charge. It's hilarious. Right? But there's so much breadth and depth to what a domestic could be, up to and including him whooping her ass. So at which point is that funny? Or he's a comedian, so the funny part is he should be able to take any type of disrespect or anything that's said to him as though he's not a person. I'm telling you, when people say they fine, check on them. Oftentimes, people that have the spotlight, you got nowhere to go, nowhere to complain to. And one thing as a leader, you understand you can never complain down. You don't have the same outlets, you know? But it's funny. I can speculate the worst about you because you have the spotlight and I don't. There's so many escalating levels to this. Couples are having disagreements, arguments, they frustrated. Familiarity breeds contempt. People are jealous. People try to move on. People don't let them. And then you know what pops in my head? Young Scooter. What's the length at which someone is willing to go because they mad, because they fed up, because they jealous, because you ain't messing with them no more, or because something happened and they want to get back? Oftentimes people are dialing at 911. People are hitting, fighting, cussing, fussing, and they live with so much regret. But young Scooter lost his life. Let's listen to this call.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so I'm the neighborhood watch, and basically, like I said, these guys they're like selling drugs in and out of the house. All you see is guys coming in and out of the house with guns and stuff. They holding guns in the air, and then it's like, I'm not sure if they're pimping, but it's the situation that's going on right now. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl. He literally fought the girl. I'm not sure what they was fighting over. If they was fighting over drugs, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like they were fighting over drugs. And then they started shooting. She had someone come over there, and they started shooting. But the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing illegal stuff over there, and it's disturbing the area.
How many shots were fired?
I would say 3. It was 3 shots.
When did it happen?
It's happening now.
Okay.
So I believe the girl is hurt.
And they're coming from 273 William Nye Drive?
Yes. And the girl is hurt because she was, like, bleeding profusely, like blood everywhere.
Okay. Do you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, she's trying to get away, and they're holding her. She's being held hostage. Like, she's trying to... They brought her... The guy that was fighting her, she ran outside naked, and then he was fighting her outside. And then there was another commotion. She tried to get away. He dragged her back in the house. So now they're at the door, literally fighting. She's trying to get out. And he's refusing to let her out. And it's like 7 guys in the house.
Did y'all hear that call? The brokenness. I heard 3 shots, 7 guys. They ran in and out the house. She was naked, bleeding profusely in the middle of the street. Now it's 7 other guys holding her hostage. You watched all this. You saw all this. 3 shots. None of this makes sense. It's happening right now, but you just said she called some people to confront the 7 guys that were there, and 3 shots rang out. Yet it's literally commotion in the middle of the street as we speak. Because of what? Because of why? Because of how you feel, what happened, get back. But now young Scooter lost his life. So I'm just gonna play a little bit of this clip of the footage of her trying to exonerate herself after what happened.
Here today to clear my name that I had no intention to set anybody up. I never set anybody up. I was threatened by individual. There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only have part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. I never had any intentions to get anybody hurt. I was the one that was getting hurt. And I came here to say my truth. That's it. That's all. I don't want no clout. I don't want anything. All these troll pages, y'all don't know me. None of y'all know me at all. At the end of the day, I'm a woman, and I was physically abused multiple times.
Right. Man dead for what? Man dead for why? And it turns out is we actually found out the reason why. But before I show y'all why, let me show you what happened to her for falsifying and making that false 911 call.
Demetria Spence chose not to appear in front of a judge, but the court did set a $7,500 bond for the 31-year-old, along with some special conditions. A Fulton County judge set a bond for Demetria Spence, who is facing charges for allegedly making a false 911 call. She was charged with transmitting a false public alarm after audio from the 911 call claimed shots were fired at a home on William Nye Drive on Friday. Spence made several claims, including that multiple men live in the home, and claimed illegal activity was going on there.
There is literally a whole domestic dispute going on. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl.
But Atlanta police never found a woman at the scene.
At least she ain't get away with it. So now we went to Clubhouse, right, to understand why this transpired in the first place. What happened for her to make this egregious phone call, the man to lose his life?
Sydney got a bounty on her. She was in Kiddo's room the day before. Yeah, she was in Kiddo's room the day before, talking about how she had some threesome and all that. Y'all want to hear about it or not? Y'all cool? Yeah. She was in Kiddo's room on the stage. So she was in Kiddo's room prior before, and she was talking about how it was supposed to be a threesome with him and some other girl, and basically she was pimping the girl out to be there, right? And then she had said that she played sleep. Like, she said that she didn't really go to sleep. She just played. And the girl backdoored her and ended up having sex with the girl anyway. And she got up. She woke up from a fake sleep and walked in on her. So she got upset and she walked out of the house, and she left the door open on her way out. And then she called neighborhood. She didn't call neighborhood watch. She called 911 pretending to be neighborhood watch, saying that the girl that was in there from the threesome, who she woke up to having sex with the guy that she put her on to, which just so happened to be student. She called 911 and said that he had drugs over there, a kid over there. She seen somebody getting beat up. Not to mention, she said that She said that she was seeing it. She said that she physically seen it with her own eyes, but then turned around and said that she was across the street. Then she turned around and said that she was in a whole nother. Okay.
So she called off bitterness.
And it's crazy because like she all in my IG comments. Now I gotta go delete her comments. Stop. I don't need them coming after me, honey. She all have heart eyes and hearts and it's crazy because listen, it's crazy because she only texts me. Like I've been on this girl for 2 years, and I'm so glad I don't have her phone number. She's only texted me ever in vanish mode. And she just invited me to the club a day before Scooter's birthday. And I did not go. And she's in Atlanta. She was like 15 minutes away. And I told her I couldn't go.
Wait, how you know she's 15 minutes away?
Because she told me the club she was at or the lounge that they were at.
And what particular lounge was this?
Leave me the hell alone.
It's just a rhetorical question.
He trying to get that.
You heard it. She brought a girl over there that she was pimping out. She fake sleep or something corny. She probably lying about that. And then Scooter proceeds to have sex with the girl that he asked her to bring over there, that she was essentially prostituting. And now she tight because it's supposed to be a threesome situation, but he have sex with her because she fake and sleep, whatever that means. She walks out feeling some type of way, calls and makes up 4 different stories over the midst of a phone call that none of them line up. The cops come because you already said that people over there shooting. The girl is bleeding profusely. They beat her up in the street. It's 7 men in the house. They got drugs and kids in the house. How you think the cops gonna come? The cops is already on go at that point. You don't control the repercussions of your actions, but you understand the effects and the egregious nature of what you painted and what you put in the cop's head. It said that Scooter was jumping over a fence, cut his leg, he died. I don't know, the autopsy, we need all that, but that wasn't the main focus here. The jealousy, man, right? The jealousy, the envy, the frustration. You got that much that you put a jacket to that degree on those men and one of them loses life. The reason why I coupled this with the haha thing, because everything is funny until it ain't. It wasn't that serious. The only thing domestic is flights, right? That's what she said. But now he got a domestic jacket. And the narrative that you paint about people is very difficult to erase. And we got to understand this. That 911 phone call, if it's fake, a man dies. If I was mad and it didn't actually happen how I said it happened on the phone call, the man still go to jail. Vice versa, hopefully. But yo, take heed, man. Take heed. It's a thin line between love and hate. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'm out.